further here, let's go to train this other map, Binary Dragons and Impossible. Take it away.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you to the dudes at the analyst desk. We are here with game number 3. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your thoughts as always as we jump into this match. Well, game number 3 to be more specific, as Binary Dragon's going to actually get the nod to start on the CT side, which is an interesting idea from Impossible. They have a lot of faith and a lot of trust in their T side, as Binary Dragons have already gotten the frags required, but look at Impossible fight back. How has this happened? Kretcher and Insomni gonna be able to find frags for Insomni, 1 for Kretcher, as they would just decimate Binary Dragons. I mean, they got the 2 opening picks, but after that, it's been all Impossible, as it's all on Letney in a 1v2 now, Flakes.
Somebody is able to do so much there. Letney now left in a very tough predicament. Takes down Insomni, tackles the Giant, but now he has one more to find. Sivat playing from Connector, tries to bait out the bomb defuse, doesn't quite do anything though. Sivat playing the very, very patient role right now, not giving anything away, literally just sitting in Connector. This man is playing this one so smart. He's just trusting his instinct, and that is the fact that Letton would not stick this defuse. Now he dials back to it. 10-second defuse, that's not good enough. Even with a one-tap, still not good enough. You are running to the hill, Letton. This round is going to Impossible.
Jeez. I was questioning it as soon as Impossible in the knife round, and I heard the analyst desk say that Impossible prefer their T side, which is a rarity on Train. I mean, some teams prefer T side, but majority do like the CT side of Train. A lot of teams do like starting on the CT side. Interestingly enough, Impossible, they're going to flip the coin and they're just going to say, no, we're going to be different. We're going to go against their grain. We're going to try to start on the T side. And I'm starting to see why, even if it is just a pistol round, you can see how comfortable they are on it. They have no fear. Running out T-Con against USPs is deadly scary. But they make it happen. They get the frags required, and they get on the site and pick up the round. Now they're going to have, well, the AKs, the Galil, the SMGs for them to work with. Binary Dragons actually buy into this. They actually have enough money for Lenton, who got a 4K, to pick up a FAMAS. Now, I'm not too sure how much damage is going to get done. Impossible all of head armor, and they already have a 2-man advantage. But it's an interesting buy, actually, that I've never seen before, and I've done a lot of CS. I've normally see USP, and if you can afford it, maybe you become a bank and drop pistols for your teammates, just to save money going into the first buy round. But an interesting buy.
Yeah, I can back you up with this. I've never seen really like a FAMAS like this brought up. I mean, maybe in like very, very like random level like UK scrims and stuff, but a lot of it is really done without too much thought. Akimov going to mow through with a double kill of the UMP, and unfortunately the thought that comes in from the FAMAS doesn't really lead to anything. It is just that an idea that has 0 results. It's Impossible. We'll take this one 2-0, and a very nice start on their T side. And to kind of add on to what you mentioned in terms of a team favoring the T side and Train, I would say that in a lot of like stuff like the Asian CS scene, etc. as well, T-side Train is very, very common over there. Like, I've been watching a lot of the Chinese stuff. I've been doing some of the Chinese Super League stuff personally, and even then, like, I see Train, I'm like, all right, the T-side gonna take this. It just kind of becomes second nature to you. So maybe some of that kind of matchup and knowledge is kind of bringing itself over in towards the Adria Masters now. I don't think it would surprise me. I think a lot of kind of lower level CS as well in comparison to tier 1. I think it is more prevalent because it starts to stray away from all tactic to a little bit more aim as well. Kind of what we're seeing here. Impossible, a lot of the picks they're getting is coming down to them having that really, really strong gun skill.
Should be a pretty cut and dry round, though. Leaves it all on Hunter. He's stuck behind him all as well, and they know he's there. He starts to burn, and well, the flying Galil to clean it up. Impossible. Well, they clean up the clean 3-0 to start it off. Binary Dragons immediately going to go into the outbuy on a Joxic kill of no utility behind it. Well, a couple flashes. Thought maybe he'd go for a smoke instead. It's just buy 2 flashes behind it. Meanwhile, Impossible, well, they're going to stick it out with the Galil and the 1 UMP. Plaz, well, look at this. It's been a while since I've seen Plaz have an op with armor and full utility. It's been a while. He likes going for the glass cannon or just body armor. He rarely has enough funds to be able to pick it up comfortably with utility. So it's good to see him actually get a full utility buy behind it. Joxic goes for the opening pick. Not going to find anyone. He actually had a bunch of utility thrown his way, so he's going to be forced off, falling back into back trains by B, while one player is going to be playing first train. And Emmy's playing a dangerous spot towards Sandwich. One Molly's going to be forced down to the open. And the Apple Plaz might be able to find him. I think they spotted each other while jumping. So Impossible just pretty much working a default across the map. They have one player spotting towards Ivy by back and T-spawn. Player T-con, player holding ladder, couple upper brown. So, I mean, Impossible just waiting for Binary Dragons to maybe make a misstep, maybe push up a little bit. But Impossible feeling pretty comfortable. You can tell just based on the positioning. They really are not worried about binary dragons right now. They're just gonna work at default and go into an execution probably.
Yeah, looking completely unfazed to what Bio Dragons are currently employing on that CT side. They don't have too much information, but at the same time, it is just going to harp back to that point of just gun skill alone. Savat, a sideblinding peek, just out of pop dog there, catches off the head of Letten, just making easy work of him. As now they look to push in as well. Coming in from Tikon, of course, the Orb and Rifle both look to greet their opposition, and it is looking fairly cut and dry so far. Plaz as well, going to find just another burning Emmy away out of the round, sending him off to the Burns ward for a quick and decisive pick. Looking for now just another down the back of trains. The AWP is going to be there to collect the debt of hitting. And it's just really looking to get worse and worse by the second. This needs to really just be a guaranteed save now coming out from Binary Dragons. This round, it's over. Just take the AWP, take the rifle, and at least make something out of it in your 5th round. Because in this 4th, impossible, well, they've taken all the hopes and dreams away from you. They're taking this one 4-0, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, I mentioned Emmy was playing a really dangerous spot towards Sandwich. One molly was going to get forced out, and the molly occurred. He was forced up on a ladder. Your aim goes absolutely everywhere when you're on a ladder. It's very hard to control. It's near impossible, actually, based on the way the bullet spray is and how bad and how inaccurate it is. So he'll just get dropped for free. Impossible. They're going to keep 5 alive. The Khalil going to find one, and look at that. Insomni is actually going to swing with his teammates, so they're not allowed anything. Binary Dragons, no op, no rifle, nothing gets carried over. Not a piece. As Binary Dragons now have to go for pistols. They'll get a buy in round number 6, but impossible. Damn, are they looking good on the T side.
Looking to see, of course, what Nino can do in this round as well. What the rest of the team can really bulk up with these pistols. But what it comes down to is just a lot of kind of off-the-cuff pushes, trying to catch off Impossible before they can really get themselves into those angles that are wide and open, allowing these rifles and ADPs to really get into their own. As unfortunately, in this 5th, these pistols, close range is the only thing they can really afford to fight. Already, Plans just going to do sweet, sweet work, though. A double kill for him in this round with the ADP. Distance being employed by Binary Dragons. They had a crack at it, but they just learned a harsh lesson. Don't bother trying. You're going to die nearly every other time. If it's not an AWP, it'll be a rifle that tap away at your head. It's better just to try and hold close and see if you can just get yourself a few frags here and there. But just that surprise factor, being hidden around that corner, being the head they just don't check for. Akimov, for example, nearly was able to be caught there by Nino. Doesn't quite happen because he checks his corners, but you know what? I thought that's what counts.
Can I pay my bills with just my thoughts?
I wish.
I thought about paying my bills, but
you know, we had to talk about it. And we decided, you know what? It's just not worth paying your bills, dude. We're just gonna leave them. You know, it's okay. Like, so look,
hey, Mr.
they'll just get
Collector,
paid.
I can't.
We don't know how they're gonna get paid, but they'll just get paid.
They'll get paid. Impossible. Well, it looks like they have to pay some debts off the way they're playing. I mean, they're going absolutely to town. Binary Dragons,
off, dude. It's all good.
They are. They're doing it for me. As I mean, even in the betting odds to the analyst desk, everyone thought Binary Dragons would have this. I mean, Impossible are such underdogs, but they're fighting with such grit, tooth and nail. I mean, they're fighting for every piece of map control and just down to every little detail. Like that flash there, to pop at ramp, to allow that player to cross. Such a heads-up play. I mean, it's the little things that's making Impossible have this T side looking good right now. As Hunter, well, they'll exchange nades, no damage actually given to either player. Savat contemplating going down towards ladder. There's one player hiding there. That's Lenton. As Arky gonna make some presence towards upper brown. So again, Impossible, just a little more Ivy pressure this time in their default, and just they take one player away from upper brown. Arky just plays it by himself, and they throw that player towards Ivy with the player and T-Spawn who was holding it previously. Lenton, well, they know he's the home. Arky's just gonna whip a nade in his direction. So Impossible doing a good job switching up paces, from going from quick executions to now just slow defaults, trying to just dwindle down binaries like utility, make them sweat, make them over rotate. So.
Keep on their toes, I think, is the interesting point here. Just imagine it from the Impossible perspective as well. If they can really keep this Binary Dragon side kind of always feeling antsy, then it'd be so good for them. Toxic starts strong. AWP is able to pick apart Civet. Patient here is going to be able to double down as well. Letton find just another. So Hunter and Letton both combining to do a fair bit right now with these rifles, with Letton just acting the cherry on top play. The USP, of course, be the whipped cream in that scenario. Is going to be the first on the board for Binary Dragons at a crucial round at that, as they need to get themselves a segue back into this game. Here it is. Now you're going to cross it with close hands, or are you going to throw it on away and allow Impossible to run away with this 1-7, 1-8?
I mean, Impossible win this. how many members? They kept 4 alive, so I mean, they still have some money. I believe Lenton was the only one who asked to rebuy. Had to rebuy into this round. Impossible, though. Here's a change in pace. 3 players already down ramp. Nino, back red. That's an uncharacteristic miss. Pff, as I say that, though, we'll find the flick onto the head of Insomni. As Plaz is going to show up with his own up there. Man down Impossible through the fire of Plaz, but he will punch in the digits. This creature, Cracker, excuse me, is going to try to make some presence here towards Z. He's trying to keep these players at bay as Plaz's op has given some room to work. There's one player coming from Oil, gets spotted, but it gets double peeked, comes out on top, finds one. He's looking for more now. Plaz has really been heating up for Impossible. Gonna keep the pressure on as Arky's gonna poke and prod forward. As he's gonna bring it to a 2v2. Arky's got 2, and speaking of 2, that's Plaz's 3rd. So 2 + 1 = 3. I can math, and Impossible are up to 6. Look at that.
It just gets better and better for them. When we thought that we finally saw them almost meet their maker, this would be the moment that we saw some real solid competitive Counter-Strike. Then Impossible were like, actually, you know what? We thought we just kind of dangle the carrot in front of them. We thought we'd give them a little bit of hope, a little bit of false sense of security as they try and fight their way back into this matchup. But if anything, it's just Bio Dragons, they're being messed with. And that round really highlighted just how bad things are for them. Getting picked apart by an AWP, just allowing one player to be the playmaker, really, for all expected purposes for this T side. Now they just look to destroy these pistols. Nice little push comes out from Nino, tries to get himself the second as well, but doesn't quite happen. Arky has a Tech 9 as well as his sidearm, so in reality he would have just swapped out to that and find the frag anyway, so it doesn't really matter what unfolds. Now some USPs at a 5-7. What do you do here if you're a Binary Dragons guy? You just kind of have to go aggressive, keep hunting for one of those rifles, and start thinking about that next round, and also start thinking about a pause. I feel like it's already too late, but I mean, we should have really seen a pause the minute the reset came in, let alone kind of 1 to 5, 1 to 6. But I don't know. I feel like we have to see it kind of now or never, really. Going 1 to 7. It's already a few rounds too late, in my opinion.
They might be a little flustered. I mean, they'll be able to get the buy in the next round. What it will include is going to be determined, as Joxic, last remaining member now for Binary Dragons, spotted, dealt with from Plaz with his Tech 9, 701. And I see an op again coming out from Binary Dragons. Joxic has the funds to buy that up. He might be the lone opper, although Neo's been pretty crazy with this, so nothing would surprise me if they go back to the double op setup. But Impossible's default has been doing a great job of just not even dry peeking into these ops, not giving Joxic or Neo a lot of opportunities to find opening picks. It's quite been the opposite, as Impossible's default has been strong. They really do like the Ivy pressure here now, as they'll send 3 players there. Neo, this is aggression. This is what I like to see. They need to switch it up, and this time they will punish Arky. As every single time, every round so far, Impossible have sent Arky to upper brown just to cause some havoc, try to deal some damage. You know, keep those players Binary Dragons honest towards B. And this time, Binary switch you up and get the openers. Neo gets caught with a smoke in his hand. What was the timing on that? As Savat, Neo's got to be a little rattled. And Savat just walks down ramp. No one else is here, so he's pulling rotations solely by himself.
He's just lurking. He's just being so... He's the epitome of a good teammate right now. He's pretty much going to sacrifice himself here to either make this B push a living dream, a living reality for the Impossible lineup, or fake it out hard enough. Now, the fact that they're coming towards B is even more of a win-win, because Emmy is now stretched well and truly so far thin. He'll find one, but the trade comes in, and now the CT side, they still have no idea where that bomb is going, bear in mind. They still have a player as well that can come in from T-Con. I'm feeling pretty good right now on the Impossible side of things. Another player to be spotted, that is going to be, of course, the good old wonderful Lenton. He will find one, a drive-by on towards Insomni, but his position is well and truly up now. Cracker is going to slowly push up through Electric. 30 seconds on the board. Time to play with for Impossible as they re-smoke off Connector, looking to advance further forward. Still very cautious about Pop Dog, but they're just looking for jewels. They're hungry for picks. They want this to be a 2v1 before that bomb goes down, but Lenton, he's got something to say about this. He's going to deny the plant. Hunter, right from behind, denies the follow-up pick as well, but taking down Cracker. Binary Dragons, they do pull through with their second. Credit where credit is due.
Impossible, though. They've built up such a big bank, $10,000 on Insomni. I mean, now that they're in almost reset potential here, you can see the money, especially, although they kept 2 players alive, they had to invest heavily into this round. UMP comes out from Nino. I mean, the most money they have is $1,300. They lose this, that's another reset, $1,400. Impossible. looking like they're about to do a ton of damage. Were they able to pick this one up? Binary Dragons, they'll have the op out on Jonks. As Plaz this time going to be working Ivy with his op. They left the bomb, I mean, right in T-spawn. There's no mistaking that. That bomb's not going anywhere anytime soon. It's impossible. We're going to use the time on the clock for them to work with. One player down ladder. Arky again holding upper brown. As impossible, continuing some Ivy pressure. 3 players there, hoping to get the opening pick on Hunter. As Joksic, well, he'll take some damage to that. Walking through the smoke out of ladder. Gets one. Look at that. Second towards sight. How is he allowed to do that? He just walks through, catches the first off guard. The second on sight goes down as Hunter gonna try to shut down the Ivy position and take from Impossible, but Insami will trade out and Joksic. Well, down to 53, 1v3. As Impossible, well, they're gonna get the bomb towards the A site.
Fortunately, Binary Dragons, they take a sip from the poison chalice and get punished from it as they try to contest Ivy, leaving it all on just Joksic trying to play towards sight, as you say, but really just such a tough scenario right now as he fights away, looking for each and every little bit of grip he can find, finds himself the first pick, but the minute the second is even remotely possible, it just completely fades away as Insomni takes the peak, rattles through the metal sheeting. Bullets all find themselves right in, almost nested in a homely fashion into his chest. Not all that pretty at all, but something certainly worth highlighting. As for Binary Dragons, all of these frags that they constantly get berated by, all this quick aggression in Ivy, all of these early picks, are so devastating for any sort of momentum they try and gain. It's now in the 7th round at an 8-2 scoreline, devastating in its own right. Things are looking very rough for them. They need to turn this half around real quickly. We're looking at a 180, dead set in motion. If we don't see either of those things at all, this round goes from just devastating to a flat-out disaster.
Neo, though, he was playing up close and personal with the 5-7. I believe the 8 bullet to the wall. It's going to force him back to that. Get the entry here. He's looking for more. He spots a player back green. Binary Dragons have a lot of players by green and sandwich side of outer yard, and Impossible smells something fishy. They're just going to rotate immediately towards B. I mean, they have a player lurking out there. That's going to be Arky, who always does this typically, as he's just going to walk out and makes a call that, yeah, there's no one home towards B. Feel free to rotate the bomb. Now, Binary Dragons have to fight back in through Z, and I mean, Kretcher is already in such a damaging position. He's going to have to throw the smoke. They have to go through it. Gets the first, and Binary Dragons, I mean, maybe a pause on the horizon. Impossible is just looking really good.
I feel like, yeah, you've kind of raised a really solid point, but at the same time, surely we have to have the discussion that it is just too late now. I mean, what do you gain from a pause when you're really going into that 12th round? I mean, what is the best case that they can really find? I mean, I'm sure there'll be people out there arguing that, you know what, it's only 9-2. Sure, 9-6 is possible, but let's be honest with ourselves for a second. Looking at how this match has gone, I don't see anything changing. It just looks like Impossible are just out-aiming them with their T-side, being ever so aggressive, calculating all the angles. They know what's up, which is something that was discussed by the analysts at the start of this game. They said that T-side was the playground of Impossible, and so it's proving to be.
They weren't joking. They're literally in really good on the T-side, from their defaults to their executions to the way they lurk B even. I mean, there's some rounds where they look down and out. I mean, they're man down perhaps in Savat or Arky with the timing as they lurk down in towards B. And the thing that Impossible do really well in this map is keeping pressure at every point of the map. So Binary Dragons don't feel too comfortable pushing apart because they're like, well, every single round pretty much they've had pressure there. If we push this trade zone car away, there's always that thought in the back of your head, right? Of course, they want to do what the IGL calls at that certain moment. But Impossible have done a great job keeping pressure Ivy. They've also made sure that there's a presence from the up, typically in T-Con. There's always a player towards upper brown no matter what. And Binary Dragons can't get too comfortable in their own skin. But they need to make a decisive decision, right? They have to go, no, we're pushing this. We're doing it. We're going to get the opening frag. It's worked out before when they pushed upper B. They're able to find Arky. But Impossible doing a great job with the lurks from the executions to... there's no holes in the sink right now for Impossible.
Yeah, I feel like right there and then you're literally just looking for the problem, but I mean, there is no Keo or for anyone else to latch onto and say, okay, this player is the problem or this is the issue. It's just the opposition right now, Impossible, are finding every little crack to play into, and it's just so rewarding for them. I mean, you have to. What do you do here if you're Binary Dragons? Do you go for flat out aggression on your CT side? Do you start just stacking sites? Do you start trying to be more aggressive on your defaults? There's a lot of options, but everything they've tried, Impossible have adapted to on the fly, which really sets them up to be just such a strong team. Unfortunately for now as well, even with a little bit of investment from the shy of the UMP and such, they're still getting picked away. It's still already a 5v3 with barely 50 seconds into the round. Joxic is going to find one to at least bring things back to a little bit more of a workable fashion, but just like a blacksmith, you can whack away at something, but it doesn't mean it's going to be a pretty result. It takes time to get there. Right now, time, something they do not have. That bomb is ticking away, Seaside.
It is round 12. I mean, Joxic was able to pick up an AK. They have a UMP out. I mean, but Lenton's going to fall. Joxic, I think he's just going to play for exits at this point. There's no point pushing in and just going to hit the pay dirt. As Emmy's just going to sit in Z. So this round's going to go Impossible's way. They'll hit double digits on their T side as they're trying to bait out this player Z. Emmy takes the peek and he'll get sprayed down as Insomni should get far enough down Ivy where he'll be able to save. He is on tank. Yeah, he's good to go. Joxic's going to find Arky, but I mean, what's 1 AK down when everyone on your team pretty much except 2 members. Actually, after this win, they should be pretty close. No. Like, I mean, you have Arky on max money and 2 other players over 10,000. So, I mean, it's not even a big deal if he falls there, even with Joxic finding one more for the road. Binary Dragons are around 13. I mean, though, the op-out on Joxic, a FAMAS, a UMP, only 2 rifles to work with, 3 mollies, as Lenton and Joxic are extremely, like, light on the pockets when it comes to what they have. And Joxic, well, good flash, get the opening pick. So this is something different from Binary. The op taking the opening pick towards T-Con. And, well, Lenton, he's going to push forward and he's going to find a second. So, I mean, Binary Dragon's aggression now going to come out. And it's going to catch Impossible off guard for now. But, I mean, they've been in worse situations, been able to bring it back.
I feel like they have to send a player back towards B though, right? The one risk is getting a quick all-in now, just coming from heaven and B, kind of B lower side. Just the charge from ramp on towards that site could be very, very lethal in terms of catching off Nino, as the frag more likely will come from heaven, but the distraction is ramp, and that means that it could be a bit of an overwhelming force in its own right. And you kind of see Impulse, it looks like they've kind of clocked onto that as well. They're just going to take the charge. Shivat is going to be there to take the fight. Joxic hasn't been able to spot anything out, but Nino playing up close and personal is going to be the man to do the damage anyway. Joxic will find it with the AWP. In the end of things, Emmy does do the job with Cracker. It does mean that that's a round for Binary Dragons to play with. Of course, economy, it's not even something we have to discuss at this point for Impossible. Much more Binary Dragons we still look at, but at least they can play with some actual firepower in this round again. At least it's not them getting reset after one round with an AWP and some rifles.
Yeah, and they have decent utility on every member, so it is a pretty dangerous buy. Still out for Binary Dragons. Impossible. It's a change maybe for them. I mean, they're just playing their default, and this time Binary Dragons going to try to challenge it. They're pushing them. Trades are going to go, and it's after the scuffles break out and they dissipate. It's going to be 3 members alive on each team as, well, Hunter and Joxic will be the 2 to hit the dirt. That's the op-out from Binary Dragons. It's Impossible. They throw some smokes towards A. They have 1 player picking up bomb towards ladder. He's going to scurry down and try to get to the A site. Plan's going to find 1, but look at Nino. Gets unspotted towards Ticket. We're back in a 2v2 immediately. That nade should be chunky. I'll do a little bit of damage towards that. It must not be Campbell's.
The bomb is just going to tick on down. Emmy, they're waiting to see if he needs to fight this one at all. Let's begin to inch his way forward. See if that looking peering almost in towards the window that is connector. The few shots will be fired. Nino there to find it. Emmy gets himself the second. Within just the nick of time, the fight does come through, and it is going to be a successful part of Binary Dragon's scoreline. They go from what looked pretty disastrous to at least something worth discussing. And at 10-4, this is looking better.
But I mean, if Impossible are feeling this comfortable on the T side of Train, you got to think their CT side is going to be possibly equally as comfortable. And even if they win Pistol, Impossible will still have a few rounds to wiggle with. So we still have a game on our hands as Binary Dragons. Well, I mean, okay. Auto, double op. Anything that will get the job done is Impossible. It's been a while, actually, since they've done a full execute towards outer yard. And, well, the auto is going to find 1 head, Grecker down, and Impossible. Well, they're just going to full push out towards outer yard.
I don't know if I'm a fan or not. I kind of want them to get punished for it, not gonna lie. Like, the part of me just deep down inside is like, just punish them for it, you know? Just catch them off guard, because it's a little bit cocky to go for it, but at the same time, one time the execute does come in, is the time the auto sniper is going to be there to lap up the kills and make it happen. As it is going to be just flak rain down upon the side of Impossible. Even just plows the last man standing in our ace scenario. Has to find a 1v5. Already get the first pick, of course, on towards Emmy. But the other 4 to find, that's getting tougher and tougher. But you know what? He finds himself in a second. Problem is, he doesn't expect the flank to come in from Hunter. That is the problem. 10-5 being secured. A much better half than what we expected from Binary Dragons. And something that we didn't really have any faith in them at all. So that's at least, you know, a little bit of positivity that we can be found down in the dirt. Apparently I can't speak English anymore. But still, that pistol is going to kind of lurk in the shadows as being the surprising element. If Impossible do take that, and take it, say, 13-5, that's when the scoring yet again starts to be dwarfed by the CT side. It all depends on what they can do in this pistol.
To be determined. Get out for Cracker. He has a flash. He's going to go ahead and expend that. Binary Dragons, they're going for a quick play towards outer yard. Exactly what Impossible did. Minus a couple smokes. Because the bomb's going to get planted. Hunter has to worry about Ivy, but also watch back trains. As no one falls, but damage is dealt towards Binary Dragons. You can see 44, 23, 51. Impossible. Well, still 5 members living, and there's a kit out on Cracker. As a take now. They come out onto the site. First man around the corner to challenge his back green player. He's going to fall. Cracker finds him. Bomb is planted for these players towards Squeaky and T-Con. As Plaz is going to spot towards upper. Smoke going to get out. He's going to tell the kit to get on the bomb. But Cracker's the one with the kit. And he's actually pushing forward. The knife is out on sight. Plaz finds him. Look at this. House is falling apart. Hunter gets one, but he's on the bomb with a kit. 2 seconds. 1 second. Defuse comes through. Impossible. Pick it up even with a shank to his chest. And he gets one more for the road. What a hectic pistol, but Impossible. I mean, that kit and Smoke really clutched that one out.
Would you agree with me, though? That was a bit of cockiness as well from Binary Dragons to just kind of like...
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, like, I feel like there's... What's the need in that? Why not just simply focus on getting the frags at this point? I mean, the half was about to be 11-5 if they actually walked away with a win there, so you had to deny it, but... I mean, going for nice, anything like that's to the business. It feels like the team in control should be doing that, not the team who are so far behind. Perhaps having a bit too much fun, or just enjoying it a little too much in this matchup right now, as they're about to fall by the wayside, having to rush in with these Tech 9s, of course, to try and bring things back to that multiple scoreline we talked about. Cracker just going to start to make mincemeat yet again of these T-side bodies, though. It's just Jockchick and Nino, the last two standing, going to wrap him from behind. They will punish with the Tech 9 to bring it back to a 2v3, but not before Cracker going to find the trade. And that's where things will harp on home, as 5 HP is all the difference, and 5 HP is a life potentially not worth living. Is at 11-5. There really isn't too much Jockchick can do at all in this 1v3. That scoreline is going up to 12. And from there, Binary Dragons really are positioned in a bit of a brick wall scenario now. Where do they run to? It seems like they are just bashing their head right up against it, struggling to find anything positive in this second half.
Wait, they force spot there.
Yeah, they force spot. They went Tech 9s and everything.
They got bomb planted first round, then force buy in second. That's actually really odd to me.
It's not something you see quite a lot.
Yeah,
it does mean they keep kind of 2.2k across the board going into this round, right? If my maths
it's just odd
correct.
Considering the cheapness of the AK and that you could get it into this round, right?
Yeah, usually go for that early buy.
Yeah.
It's basically kind of like standard meta Counter-Strike now. Is if you get bomb plant, you don't force. You buy like maybe a P250 or something because you're around like 2,650, 2,300. But I mean, catching them off guard there, it's like on a map like Train especially as well with those Tech 9s. The play they made didn't really seem well rehearsed, didn't really seem like an idea. It just felt like someone had said, you know what, let's just rush this and force up. It's kind of that willy-nilly, all right, we need to do this because of scoreline based play.
They need to switch it up,
that.
yeah.
I don't like that though. I think that's when you start to really cement yourself that you're losing this match.
Yeah,
You're going away
especially
from standard CS. Like you're going away from what you know in practice.
Yeah, they kind of got destroyed with the M4s sitting back trains and just picking them apart, especially considering the bomb got dropped immediately right near Sandwich. Now they're going to have no armor.
It was clear they didn't really know like how to play the Tech 9 force-up situation there, because, I mean, you don't really play up against rifles that often. You play up against kind of the odd job SMG combination, right?
Yeah. And, I mean, the rifles played it well. The SMGs played close. I mean, there's nothing much to say about that.
Exactly.
Binary Dragons made a decision, and, I mean, they got slapped. So that, going to be playing towards Top Cat, back oil. Well, he has a teammate first train to look towards ramp. Binary Dragons, I mean, they have no utility, so this is a rough one to even get into the into the lower site. It's Wrecker. Well, he'll deal with the IV pressure. As out come the Glocks and P250s momentarily. Emmy's going to go first, gets stuck on the ladder. So that cleans him up. And the Gush will come through, but the bomb actually gets dropped It will fall to sight, but it doesn't matter, as these SMGs are going to start to do a little bit of farming. At least Insomni will get 2 kills with it, 13-5. Binary Dragons now will have AKs out, though. Utility behind it. We'll see smokes. We'll see nades. We'll see smokes. I mean, what do Binary Dragons do here? Do they go for a quick play? Do they work at default? Perhaps it's good for them to just pump the brakes a little bit, settle down, fall into some kind of either set strat you've practiced, or perhaps some kind of default. A little unsure is what they're going to do, but it looks like they are just going to head towards upper brown. As impossible, a nice early rotation from Savat. I mean, they don't spot anything T-Con, no utility gets thrown, no flashes, and no pressure towards Ivy. They feel extremely comfortable rotating this player, and especially with Insomni spotting that foot. Yeah.
That's really nice. Some early damage, 40, 30 HP across Hunter and it sets up for these UMPs now just to get themselves those really easy, just kind of side peeking picks. And it's kind of the case there. Civat gets one. A nice little trade will come in from both of those rifles. They combine up and do get control of this B site, and walking up to the smoke as well is a play in its own right, but it's whether he can do the damage or whether a Famous will eat him alive, as we are looking at Plaza right now, literally playing around the edge of this one, starts to pre-fire through, and there you have it. The one result we didn't want to see takes place. Now we go full circle, back to a 3 for 3. Things are looking worse and worse as the seconds tick on by. Emmy has to take the fight here. It's the responsibility of the teams to peek out right now. They do go 1 for 1, bringing it to a 2 for 2, of course, but more battles are being forged, leading us to the fateful scenario that is all or nothing in a clutch play. The defuse is being stuck on down. Nino trying to face on out. Gets himself the headshot just as required. Krekker, no stick this time around, my friend. Binary Dragons, they get themselves their 6th.
Yeah, great play from Nino there and not really fully commit to the wide swing. But now they're in a rough spot where Joxit can't afford a rifle. Nino either A, buys utility or drops him. He'll still have 1,000 to get utility after, so look for the drop from Nino. But actually, they're going to go full UMPs. This is an interesting play, considering a couple other players could have afforded to go for AKs. They would have, less utility, but Binary Dragons are going to go all in with these UMPs. 1 AK, and Impossible are pushing. They're going to push up around right to UMPs. They'll trade 1 for 1. As Insomni, well, he's going to only able to get 1 as his teammate falls all the way back. That's going to be Savat. Going towards ramp. Will take 5 damage from a nade. Nothing to write home about Binary Dragons, though. I mean, free upgrade to an M4 out of BMP. Not the worst start to a round for Binary Dragons. I think they'll be pretty content with those trades.
34 for 4, of course, will always favour that T side. They whittle away the numbers of Impossible, really trying to charm their way into this matchup now at 13-6. Every little round counts, of course. Stressing the scoreline, I know it sounds repetitive, but it's so important that you all really get a grasp of just the nature of this match. Now to bring it back to the present, Plaz holding on towards that T-Con angle from Connector is really going to be crucial here to get that information, realizing that there is little to no presence over on towards A at all. Should start to kind of prompt some rotates, but a smoke coming out from Binary Dragons also kind of toys with them somewhat as this push is out on towards the B site. The bomb is now being planted, the jig is up. Impossible, they know what's going on, but they don't have a flank. That means Letten, he can run wild, do his own thing. To other teammates, Hunter and Emmy. All they gotta do is just get themselves intertwined with these trains, and life is good. Akamov spraying through the smoke. Arky, how did he get away with that one? Looks to double down for a second as well, continuing to spray around the edge on towards oil trains. Plaz gonna get the pick with the AWP. How did they win that round? They didn't even have to get close. They literally won it from distance-based duels.
Crazy. Arky really did a lot of work finding the first one, then the second had to peek out from oil. I mean, Impossible to get 14. Binary Dragons. That's almost... I mean, with the UMPs getting a little bit of money, they're still back down to 1,400. Yes, they lose, so they get $800. So they're still going to go ahead and buy here, but it's going to be Tech 9s. Maybe Letney goes for UMP. Yeah, so we'll go for UMP, utility behind it, head armor. So 1 UMP, 1 AK, round 21. They're going to fight to keep Impossible off a match point, but it's going to be extremely a tall ask. Neo really has to go ham. Letney has to do something as these Tech 9s are just going to run out. Letney's going to be the first one to just run past Sandwich, try to get himself back in green. Savat isn't going to be ready for this player to be just holding W behind him. These rotations, though, for Impossible. They're here. UMP, good kill on the first player. The Molly is going to stop him from falling off. Arky pushes forward. Here's the bomb getting planted. Gets one, not ready for the other player. He's actually pushing Ivy, interestingly enough. But Neo with the AK rings one out. So look at this, Tech 9's UMP, never count them out, Flakes.
This is a pizza play as well. Look at the map right now. It's a player on every single side of Impossible. but they still managed to make it work, bringing it to a 2-for-2. Both taking the individual fights on towards their respective pushes coming in from Binary Dragons. Seeming like somebody just wants to get up on the elevator handle as well to allow him still to be caught off guard by Nino. Meaning Plans has so much to do now with just an AWP. Starting to back off, but gets the first flick to make it a 1v1. Still, no information though on where Nino is playing, and that's going to be exceptionally tough. That bomb is ticking on away. Both teams need to concede and let it happen. It is going to go pop, and both walk away at least still standing.
Well, Impossible are... Yeah, they're going to go for a buy. The op... Yeah, the op player can drop over an M4, so that's going to go to Savat. As a Mag 7 actually gets bought from Insomni. VP love doing this, and so do a lot of other teams where you buy Mag 7, it just pushes right into ladder. It's so scary there. So they get 2 M4s, a UMP, an op out onto Plaz, and Impossible. 2 players B, 3 players A, 1 quick rotator back Z. That's going to be Insomni. He's playing extremely far back with a Mag 7, supporting Plaz, as they may do just a bait and switch. The op gets the first, and the Mag 7 will pick up its mantle close towards ramp. Binary Dragons, I mean, they're very one-sided in this attack. That player gets spotted, gets killed, and they have 0 map control other than Brown Halls. They don't even have anyone spotting ladder in ladder. So Impossible in a great spot if they do push up and try to gain map control elsewhere. But they're unsure where Binary are, and they don't want to take a risk. I mean, they're 1 away from match point, 2 away from ending the game, so...
So sometimes it's worth taking the risk to try and gain a reward. Normally, the Mag 7 does find himself that pick just by being patient, playing around the smoke. I'll keep aggression with the UMP, and it's just another. I think that a double kill as he takes down Hunter. It does mean that things are looking better and better for that series point to be collected. The last death to be found is going to be Joksik. He's going to be just playing around on top of these trains, dives down to the right side where a rifle. Pretty damn simple for Impossible in reality. 15-7. You feel like they have that kind of better structure as a team to make this series win happen. And across every map we've seen in this series, I think if I was to make a judgment, I think which team really have shown that they merit this series win. I think we've seen some nice stuff from Binary Dragons, but it has just been better for Impossible. Now we're kind of seeing that evident now at 15-7 by this score in its own right. The T side was impeccable, only kind of landing off the gas towards the end of the half. This half, it's been a bit back and forth, but for the most part, these Tech-9s, they've tried to be close, they've tried to be aggressive, but it's been impossible to take the rounds.
I mean, it is absolutely crazy how well Impossible are playing. Binary Dragons have made weird force buy decisions. They've gone for buys with AKs and just Tech-9s in weird spots. Even just a 4 UMP buy in the AK. I mean, it's been some weird decisions from Binary Dragons. Impossible, they're 1 round away from closing this out, taking BO3 over Binary Dragons, something no one saw coming. As already it's going to start. Plans gets the opener onto Letney. As Neo is stuck in the smoke towards ladder. He doesn't want to move. Binary Dragons, I mean, these pistols across the map are just getting shredded. And what I can't understand is why are they working a default with Tech-9s with 0 to no utility? That actually hurts my head a little bit.
They've done the same thing, though, like
it hurts my head still.
Now. That's the thing. It's been a lot of, all right, let's just default. Let's just default. But, I mean, this isn't the saying of, you know what, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. No, this is clearly broken. The defaults don't work. You got to fix something right now. Grab a wrench and start whacking away. But it's too little too late. It's already a 4v2. They have no utility. I'm going to just ignore that frag grenade exists because that doesn't change anything in the round. Feel like Binary Dragons, any chances they have, they've just lost for the final time today.
I mean, look where the last player is. That dude pushing up B, and the last player, Hunter, gets spotted back red down to 6. Impossible will do it. They will do the impossible. I'll use the cliche saying as the analyst. Well, they're going to have a